It's been a while now since we tested Project Cars 3 for you, and the result was pretty disappointing. The arcade-focused steering, unbalanced progress in the career, and shockingly raw graphics didn't do justice to the series. Fans were disappointed, while newcomers didn't know what to expect from the game, a fact that was also mirrored in our comments section. Codemasters already seem to be planning ahead with their learnings, talking about Project Cars 4, but do these learnings also affect Project Cars 3? A few months and download packs after release, we take a second look at what has happened to the game and its player base since then. Only 1 month after release, PC3 had already lost 50% of its players on Steam, and the numbers kept shrinking. The content update slightly increased the base of players in December. Slightly Mad Studios had released the Legends Pack, which contains 3 new cars and the Abu Dhabi track Yas Marina circuit, plus a few cosmetics and 16 additional events related to the new cars. In addition to that, some minor content expansions like the Style Pack contain another collection of cosmetic items. 3 more DLCs in the tradition of the Legends Pack are already planned. The content of Project Cars 3 was never its primary issue though, and the price of €9.99 is a significant amount considering the content the DLC offers, so only true fans should have a closer look at this offering. Regarding controls, the true issues of Project Cars 3 sadly haven't been addressed. They still lack precision, and the feedback when using a wheel is unsatisfying. It's still hard to get a feel for grip levels, and driving in Project Cars 3 still feels a little bit like driving on ice all the time. When starting the current patch and using the helmet camera, the function for looking at the apex when entering corners is automatically on high. While this is a well-meant function, it doesn't really aid the precision of the steering. Worse still, it sometimes feels rather weird, and some players might even get dizzy if they suffer from motion sickness. On the low setting, it is possible to get used to it though. As the arcade-style controls were the biggest disappointment for the fans, Slightly Mad Studios CEO Ian Bell had already tweeted that Project Cars 4 shall return back to the roots and become the greatest sim ever. The graphics were the aspect we criticised the most about the game at its release, and we were not the only ones. Unfortunately, there hasn't been too much progress since then either. Particularly from the cockpit perspective, the textures are low, edges are horribly jagged, and the frame rate sometimes dips below 30 frames per second, at least on our standard PS4 version. Some say that on a PS4 Pro, this has been fixed though. We don't have too much hope for the multiplayer mode as well. It hasn't yet flatlined, but it does seem to be dying slowly. We tested on PS4, and even fewer players seem to assemble here compared to PC platforms. Sometimes, you're not even able to find a quick match. This could be an advantage, as the hopelessly packed races of the career mode didn't reward clean and fair driving. Even worse, it was nearly impossible. Sadly, this kind of driving behaviour isn't punished in the multiplayer as well, an error that many drivers are quick to exploit. Look at these fellows fighting it out beyond sportsmanship. Added to that, the netcode is often terrible and doesn't provide a smooth presentation of your opponents. Overall, Project Cars 3 hasn't fixed any of its major issues. Instead, it simply provides more content which suffers from the same problems. Based on that, player numbers are sinking again. Ian Bell, meanwhile, insisted that many PC fans exist who are simply too scared to show their affection, caught in a spiral of silence. Not listening to the community has resulted in the worst player numbers in the Project Cars franchise's history. Ian Bell has made clear that Slightly Mad learned from this mistake and aims on claiming the simulation throne with Project Cars 4 again. But the situation with Project Cars 3 remains the same. Sim racers have many better opportunities, while arcade fans have tons of better opportunities. So PC3 is still maintaining a niche that no one really needs, and in addition, still suffers from technical limitations. As Codemasters and Slightly Mad are already focusing their efforts into PC4, we have the feeling that they have already abandoned ship. For more esports racing content, visit overtake.gg or our YouTube and social channels.